Welcome to this broadcast. And I had promised a webinar, but tonight is just an intro. So I'm your host, Gabriela Jotum, and I'm going to speak on this topic of AI, what you need to know about the current tools that are existing. This is one of the most consequential errors, I believe, in all human history because of one thing. It's a paradigm shift. If you know what a paradigm shift means, a shift, a change that changes society for good. It is actually already changing education. It's changing every profession as we know it. There's only one thing that does not change, and that is God. So everything else is subject to change by this technology. And for this introduction, I want to take you through 101, the things you need to know and the tools you need to know. Because almost every 3 months, there are updates coming on these tools, and the race is too fast that it's literally hard to cope with what is going on. And you may ask, why do you need to learn these things? My friend, the only way you can survive the next phase is to adapt to use these tools. AI will not per se replace your jobs, but the people using AI may not need you if you don't know how to use these tools. And that is why this is very significant in our time. And this goes to students as well. It goes to content creators. It goes to any other profession that needs access to information. Of course, there are some professions that may not be, or this may not be of any significance. But even then, we have now robots being trained to do manual jobs. And so it may take a few years, and then everything else anything that a human being can do physically with physical effort will equally be replaced. So these are very strange times. And just for those who are starting up, I know most of you are familiar with the tools because most of you have an idea of the things that are taking place. You have used these tools somehow, maybe you have collided with some, or you have done a crash course on some of these things. But for those who don't know, what is AI? What is artificial intelligence? Just to give you a bit of history, man began to evolve technologically almost about 500 years ago. And before that, man was just a tool for everything. And the world depended mainly on agriculture. And then when man invented machines, and then the printing press also came forth. And then you began to see technology, and every technology that changed mankind was hinged on distributing information. The printing press made the scrolls to be printed. And then it kept coming, until we came into the age of the internet, which most of us were born under. And then here we are. AI is here. What is AI particularly? Artificial intelligence, it refers to computer machines, computer systems that can perform tasks that you and me would often do, that normally would require human intelligence to do. And those tasks mean like understanding language, like ChatGPT now, Gemini, Cloud, Copilot of Microsoft. These are all tools that basically are making human interaction possible. Now, the difference between these tools and already the existing tools like Google, search engine and everything, is that these tools are intelligent in a sense that they are able to do what you would do with Google in the past. If you want to search for a topic, you will search how to fly a plane, and then you first understand the mechanics of a plane and everything. But now today, ChatGPT will give you the full detail and where you need to go, what you need to do about that topic. It actually goes to answer the question. And these tools, there are others that recognize images, like Midjourney, Stable Diffusion. If you check those tools, they're able to create images, analyze images, recreate. And these are tools that in the past you need somebody with a clear understanding to interpret and understand and compare. But today, we even have cameras that can actually identify, intelligent cameras that can identify a person in a crowd. If my photo is uploaded, what will happen is that those cameras will pick, it is put in the system, the cameras will scout the crowd with the frames of my photo. And if immediately it notices similar frames, it will identify me in a crowd of 10,000 people or more. That's how powerful these systems have become. So you find that you also have those that do predictive analysis, like business analytics. You find finance and healthcare depend on that intelligence. And then we have those that do automatic tasks, automation. You train them to do certain tasks repeatedly. So these are all things that are running under this intelligence. And these tools, you require them to perform in our daily lives, in the work we do, in our learning at school. Today it has made learning more possible. And if you check how things have evolved very fast, just a few years ago, learning actually meant being in class. Go to school, read your books, dig deeper, go to the libraries, read more books. And your intelligence was measured by what grades you have in school. And that era began to shift slowly with the internet, and the internet basically made it possible that you can learn literally anything, anytime, anywhere for free, as long as you have access to the internet. And once you can learn these things, it puts you on the edge. You can have time to do other things. That's why we had the emergence of online learning, e-learning. Most universities now, you can do a program online without even attending and finish and be given a transcript. So all that shifted. And as now we continue, it's likely that this is going to even change the way education is going to be in the near future. Because the previous education system was based on memory. What we call exams is normally a test of our memory, and there is a bit of it testing our understanding. But where we are today, you may not need that, because if you have machines that can do what you ought to be doing, then now that puts you in a certain category. How are we going to cope up? And that is why it is good to look into these tools that I've listed some. Now, there are different categories of AI, and there are different purposes, and there are different user case scenarios. And I know the common one we know is ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT Gemini, Cloud, Copilot, DeepSeek, the Chinese one. All these are language models. And they're in the category of content creation and productivity. What do? They help you in writing. You do prompting of text. Last year, I made a contract with it. I just create for me a contract to develop a website for a commercial bank. And this and this and this. And I actually submitted that contract and I used it. So you find that if you can go to ChatGPT and you're a lawyer, for instance, just try to test it, like now the current on ChatGPT 5. Just try to test it with the prompts of what you do if you make contracts. If you have non-disclosure agreements, you already have your draft, but try to test what AI can do, and you'll be shocked. Some of these things are so excellent. It goes into areas that you would not have originally thought, because it scouts through all the contracts online, comes up with something that fits whatever you have asked it to do. So those are productivity tools. And then you have copy.ai. That's marketing copy and campaigns. And a lot of people who are doing online campaigns and marketing are using Jasper, Copy AI, and many other tools. And then for smart note taking, that is Notion AI, Coda AI. I remember I used a while back, I was in a meeting and I decided it was a meeting we didn't really have someone taking notes. Everybody had to take notes on whatever you have to take. So what I did, I recorded the meeting and I uploaded the file to one of these apps, and then it generated for me the full minutes of the meeting, and I could proofread. So can you imagine if you are in a meeting, say a meeting of 2 hours or 1 hour, what you just need to do is to make sure you record the audio, and then you go and AI will do everything for you. Then you just proofread it and polish it, and you are done. So these are tools that are existing. It removes the stress and the element that we often have, because humanly we even skip certain things, but these things don't skip. Then of course we have the common one, Grammarly. That is for editing, rewriting, and checking, spelling check. You know it for that. And Quillotbot. Now that is used by writers for creating blogs, ebooks, newsletters, all of them, all the ones I've listed. And then business writing today, proposal writing, business planning. These things, as long as you feed it with the context of what you want to be achieved, it's very simple that you get all these things in place. And even sales speeches, email marketing, email drafts. You can draft them and have multiple refined, of course, and set them apart to put them out there and automate them to send at particular times. That's the beauty of it. So you can actually plan your whole week and do, if this is your kind of job, plan everything in a day, do what you're supposed to do the whole week, and set everything to automate. And the work you'd have done for 1 week, you could do it in a day. That's how beautiful these tools are. So now that is what you normally use on content creation or productivity. Now there is another thing. there's what we call visual and design AI. That's a different category. And I use Canva for designing thumbnails and doing graphics. I use Canva Pro. And Canva has now Canva AI. I've even used it to design a banner. I told it, create for me a banner of 1080 by 1920 pixels that shows a child going to, that displays an advert for a school of children, a kindergarten, and you'll be shocked. It regenerates the advert, then you just change it, the colors, you just play around everything. And as you do that, it is learning even your preference. So as you do more, next time it knows you prefer these colors or you like this, it is able to learn your behavior. This is like a child, the way children learn language. A child learns a language. There is nothing like a system to put to a child to learn a language. Children just follow patterns, and when they follow patterns, right after that, each pattern, you say hello, and maybe if you point a child to the father and say, that is daddy, say daddy, 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 and then the father responds. So in the child's mind, the pattern goes that is daddy, that is mommy, and it keeps registering. That's how they learn language. Now it is the same concept of machine learning, is to train it with patterns, and then only that here it is instantaneous. The way the models are created, they will learn patterns very quickly. So it is learning your behavior, and all these models actually are learning your behavior. That's why every update, you find that for every update, it is increasing in ability to process and analyze tasks. I believe in 2-3 years, it will be able to learn tasks immediately. It will be able to learn tasks immediately as you put now Canva AI, Adobe Firefly. That one is heavily advertised online nowadays. And then that, of course, that's graphics design, banners, social media posts. Midjourney, that's the common one. Stable Diffusion still generates unique arts and logos, very easily and illustrations. Runaway ML, that is AI video editing and background removal. Now, and then you have these different AI animations. You put your photo, then it animates you as a young boy. I think most of you have seen that, mostly used on TikTok. So these are all tools that today exist. And let me tell you, even the future of video editing, currently the tools that are there are being recreated every time. And there are some tools I know that in the next 2-3 years, if you say, for instance, you shoot a wedding video and you shoot from where the bride is, you begin shooting from there. You shoot where the bridegroom is. You shoot their entry in the church. You shoot the reception. You shoot the photo shoots and everything else. You take the whole coverage of the event. It will not be again business as usual that you take the footages and you go and edit them and sit and do the work. AI is going to do it for you. How? You are going to upload those footages and name each footage. This is the beginning, and then maybe give it instruction. I want you to start with this, something like this, and to flow the process. Then let the system do everything. Once you give it instructions, it will do exactly as you have done. Give effects, fix the sound levels, and get everything done. That is the future of video editing. So it won't be like going to create a video. Right now we have softwares that are, AI softwares that are able to take a video of 2 hours and generate short videos out of that one video. That is how far that in the area of video editing, those tools exist. So if you are a video editor, that is going to be the future. So you better get learning how these tools work. Of course, marketers generating visuals fast for campaigns, and small businesses create polished visuals without hiring designers. So actually the work of a designer is literally obsolete as we speak. Things have changed. If you learn how to use these tools, it's so perfect. Currently, ChatGPT, you don't need to type text. You just press on the microphone button and you speak to it. And then it will do what you want it to do. So these are tools that are existing. Now, that is a category of design. Now, the next category is audio and video AI. Now, you find that there are currently tools that are doing so much. Even like a notebook of Google. Notebook of Google, the strange thing about Notebook of Google is this. I mean, I liked it. You can tell it, you can upload a document and tell it, create for me a podcast based on this document. And within less than a minute, it creates a podcast. You can hear two people speaking. You can decide to have two men or two ladies or a man and lady. And it's doing a podcast and it's all AI generated. And it was not until recently Google demonetized all the content made by AI. But a lot of people had built big channels on YouTube with millions of subscribers based on Google content. Just generating. So these things, in whatever area your profession is, you are able to use these tools to generate anything you want. Basically, the power is given to you currently with all these tools. So then, of course, decrypting, that is podcast and video editing, automatic transcripts, it generates that. Then it also has what we call synthesia, which is AI avatars that talk in multiple languages. And currently, CapCut, the video editing software, CapCut Pro, is having it's I think in the development stages. The CapCut AI is able to generate many things for you. I've used Vid to make a video, a marketing video, with everything AI generated. It generated an African village, and it looks a real video. I once put it on my status. So these tools all exist to make life easy for you. And that is why it's good for you to know. And for those who just subscribe to this channel, I'm going to put it in the description of the videos a WhatsApp group where I will be posting the documents that you need, the different tools you need to learn. I will send you the different tools for each work. So after this, I'll put in the description of all the videos a WhatsApp group that if you like to follow these things, you just join. And then I will send you all each tool that you need for each purpose. Because there are so many and they are being created every day. And then we have AI generated voice for narrations and ads. Now here's the big thing. AI voice generation is very unique. You see, you know me by the way I speak. Even if you are not watching me right now, once you hear my voice, you know that's Gabriel. Now, these AI models that are being created, what I do is I upload maybe 2 hours or 5 hours of my voice. It analyzes my frequency in depth. Then now it generates an AI avatar with my voice. And then now you can give it content and say, use this voice. And when you are hearing it, it will be an AI voice, but using my frequency. So you will think it is me. And that is why you are able to see during the US campaign, there were many deep fakes for Trump saying something that he didn't say, or somebody said something that they didn't really say, but it was so clear and so compelling. That is how interesting these things are. So people are using that a lot, especially for scamming. It's heavily used. And then we have this other Opus Clip. I know most TikTokers use Opus Clip to generate short viral clips. It takes your video, analyzes, and generates a short clip. And it is so intelligent, so it is looking for maybe content that is potentially going to become viral. And that's how some people make their channels, and they blow up. I know a channel that I saw use that. I think they had just 2 videos on TikTok from about 50 something subscribers. The next day, it was 20,000. And that is what actually is going on. So understanding how these tools work and how they operate is so important in every industry at the moment. Of course, what are the advantages of those tools? Editing episodes very quickly. That's the interesting bit of it. And then YouTubers creating voiceovers and translations. I recently had to send a video to somebody who speaks Spanish, and I used CapCut captions with the translation AI. So the video speaks in English, but the captions are relaying in Spanish the message. And you find that it is able to generate that in just a few seconds. That's the interesting bit of it. So, and then you have businesses making training videos, marketing videos, maybe even how to videos. If say you're a business that maybe does computing, you want a new employee to know this is how things are done. So AI is able to generate the processes. Then they just have to go through and learn. That is one category, audio and video. We have finished that. We have finished design. We have finished content creation. Now, category 4, automation and business AI. Now, automating workflows from emails, notifications, customer relationship management. I know Zapier AI uses it, Make.com. So these tools have made what often would sit in things. They have automated so many processes. So your work is just to set and plan. Then everything else is done by AI. And then we have HubSpot and Salesforce. That is customer insights, lead generation, lead scoring. That is now for people doing really big sales. And then, of course, we have chatbots that do automation as well, that are attached in websites. Like now, most websites their chatbots are run by AI. Everything about the business. So you might be chatting, you're not chatting with somebody. It's a chatbot. Then it will ask you, do you want a human interaction? When you say yes, then it tells you to wait. That is all in automation and business intelligence. We have that Intercom, Drift, ManyChat. Those who do web design can integrate this to your website and can actually automate the chats. So you may not be there in person to answer the chats, but the AI does the answering, and then it creates for you a report after. And then with that report, you are able to read, and then you are able to follow up on a potential customer. So we excuse me. So we have seen these things, and then this is just automating repetitive tasks. Every day you may have repetitive tasks you do. Now you're able to train these things to do those repetitive tasks. And online stores have improved their customer service very well because of that. And of course, even freelancers are saving time in doing this task automation. Because now if you are a virtual assistant and you're supposed to generate reports, do this, if you now use these tools, you make your work so easy and so quick. The work maybe of a day, you could do it in 1 hour if you know what you are supposed to do. Then for research and data AI, that is now number 5 category, is Perplexity AI. It's a smarter search engine with citations. I think you have noticed this on Google. When you search something maybe technical, for instance, okay, for those who are technical, you're editing a code and maybe you have stuck somewhere. When you search, nowadays the first drop in the searches is by AI. Then the rest are in the search engine of websites and where you may get tools. And then you have research assistants for academics, like elicit.org. If you go to elicit.org, you can check that. Of course, and then you have data analysis, math, and finance. Now, ChatGPT with code interpreters, and then Wolfram Alpha does that. If you want to do research, if you have a complex mathematical equation you want to understand, you can get all that done. And that is often used by students doing fast and accurate research. And then researchers summarizing academic papers. Because if you check the essence of summarizing, when you're in school, we always love to write summaries. You read a book, you make summaries, and the summaries would help you prepare for the exam. Now, today, you can have AI summarize things to your need. You can say, summarize for me this in 1 page. And then we have business analyzing data for decision making. If you're going to make a decision, but you want to base on the factual data, AI does that very easily because the tools are able to look into the report in finance, the report in logistics, the report in customer satisfaction, sales, and then make a decision that, okay, should you invest this amount or should you reduce? What is the high risk based on these facts? All those things are done. And the companies that have managed to use those tools have all excelled. Then category number 6, everyday tools. Now, for meeting transcription, you can use otter.ai, OTTER. I will put all this in a document. So what you do after this video, maybe within an hour, you go read the description, and please subscribe to this channel. I want to put all these tools into place. We're going to look at each one of them 101, the basics of what you need in each tool. And then if you need anything, any question, any help, you can reach me for free. So otter.ai helps in meeting subscription. Replica AI is AI companion, basically. Then Spotify DJ, personalized music experience. Google Lens, scan objects, translate instantly. And Google Images are working now so well. You can upload an image of yourself and search and ask Google to search the images on internet related to your image. You'll be shocked by what you see. So what is the best user cases for this? Professionals keep meetings and meeting notes automatically. Generate a report after a meeting automatically. Language learners practicing conversations. Then busy people using AI for reminders and planning. So these AI tools are so important for students. If you are a student, you have to get learning, because you even by virtue of being young, you can learn all these things so quickly. For research, summarizing books, language learning, and solving complex problems. Content creators, you can make your YouTube scripts, thumbnails, you can edit podcasts, do everything, and learn from many things. And that goes with TikTokers as well. And then Facebook, Instagram, those are all now channels you can distribute content you have refined. And then entrepreneurs, this is automating customer service, generating marketing content. And then professionals, writing reports, transcribing meetings, and analyzing data. And that is very important. You can, for everyday person, you can planning with AI, planning with AI. For instance, today, last year, I went around October. I went to Zanzibar, but before I went, I used ChatGPT to prompt me list places to plan my itinerary while in Zanzibar, and it gives you full detail, more than initially you'll have to reach a tour company. I'm coming to this place, and I would like you to which places to visit, draft my itinerary, how much it costs. Now with ChatGPT, it is able to give you a full breakdown, where to go, where to reach, and everything. Then you just go there and you just move on, as you can have a clear plan of your itinerary. That's the beauty of these things. If you plan to travel to a new place you don't know, you can just plan your itinerary, because ChatGPT will give you a list of destinations to visit and what to do. And even using ChatGPT for booking flights, I want you to try. Just do a prompt there. Say, get for me the cheapest, affordable, most affordable price for a flight. Maybe it's from Nairobi to Egypt, Nairobi to Amsterdam, Nairobi to New York. And then it will scout the internet, come through, and get for you links to go to. And when you go to those links, you'll be shocked. Because I've ever gotten a flight that initially should have been like $1,400 for somebody, and getting it at $750. So these things are being used. If you learn to use these tools for everyday life, you'll really see the benefit. And then, of course, if you are somebody who wants to generate a resume, a CV for a job interview, a job application, you can try to check the tools. You can also use it for budgeting help. So there are many ways these tools exist, and there are many models. I use ChatGPT. I also use Copilot. I've used Gemini a bit and DeepSeek a bit, but I'm going to do now videos on ChatGPT 101, Gemini 101, Claude 101, Copilot 101, all these models. I'm going to do them. Then with that, I believe you should be able to just go through each one of them. And please subscribe to this channel, share this video, and share this channel with your friends. You can put it on your status. That's all I need from you. So I'm going to put the full description on the description of each video. I'll put there a WhatsApp group which you can join, and then it will be approved. And then there you'll be able to access the documents that I'm going to share with you. Each of these models, you don't need to, maybe you can just get one model to use, whether ChatGPT, Gemini, that's for Google, and then you can use Copilot, Microsoft, you can use DeepSeek, you can use Grok of X. So all these tools have the same way. Of course, there is a race on which model is the best, and we'll also look at each model and how it has progressed. Of course, ChatGPT right now is leading the race, but there are many other. Grok is also doing so well. So you can try all these models. And there's also a Facebook one. On your WhatsApp, there's AI. There's a chatbot as well. So everyone is racing for these tools. Yeah, so these tools, it's so important to learn these tools because this is the only way you'll be ahead of everyone. It's the only way you'll be ahead, because other than that, you'll be caught short. And these tools that exist at the moment are going to be even more advanced within the next year. So you can always just update your knowledge, but you can't stay away from learning these tools. It's like now learning the way at some point in time everybody was learning Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, because you needed that to live with everyday tasks, typing and making notes, doing Excel, balance sheet and everything. You needed these tools, but now today it's the same thing. You need to learn all these tools in its own, in this time. You need to learn these tools just to be ahead of everybody, because it's going to be part of your daily life. And if say you have a website, your website eventually has to be integrated with AI tools for it to stay relevant. If you have any kind of website, you have to integrate these tools to be relevant. And if you need any service, that's where I come in. And SemaCast is a digital media company that now it uses, of course, empowers you at the basic level, create websites and then host them as well, create mobile apps, and then multimedia applications and streaming services, web TV, online radio, and all these things. And then now there's an aspect of training as well. If you want to one-on-one to learn these models step by step, we can have a session, a virtual session. And then if you want to, say you want a private session with yourself, go through, maybe you are a lawyer and you want to know what are the applicable tools you need to learn, can go through. I'll even share with you certain open source software you can have in your computer and then work with it and improve your tasks, improve your work. So all these tools now do exist. And please just subscribe to this channel. Let's make it to 100 before end of day. 100 subscribers. We're racing to get to 1,000 as soon as we can. So these are the realities that are facing us. And I want to encourage you you can do, of course, more learning. There's a ton of content online about these things. And I felt like, having learned and seen the improvement you can actually make with these tools, let me share this knowledge. Like they say, the best way to learn a subject is to teach it. And that's what I'm doing, because I have learned them and I'm still learning them. But they really improve your capacity to work. They improve your ability. They put you ahead of your competition in a way. Of course, your competitors, it's a race right now. Everybody is racing. So you can't just live in denial. And more so if you're in business, you cannot stay without knowing these tools. So thank you so much. And okay, Andrew Adeka. All right, yeah. Thank you, Silva and Andrew, and everyone else who is tuned in. Thank you. So these are realities that are facing us, and I hope that you can take these lessons to yourself. There will be more. I will have more open sessions as we move on. But this was just an introduction to what the things you need to know, because the race is real. When a new age, it is, things have changed. There is nothing we can do about it. Everything has changed, and AI is here to stay. So thank you so much, and please subscribe, and see you another time. Thank you.